Alright guys, so recently, and when I say recently I mean like a little over a week ago, Complex released their list for best teenage rappers right now, and it's I'm just gonna say interesting. Alright, they have some more mainstream people, and then they also have some more quote-unquote underground people. I would honestly say any of these guys are underground, but I just wanted to go over it and the way they were ranked, and number one, talk about who in the quote-unquote underground is poking out, but also kind of why people don't like Complex, and yeah, let's just go over it. All right, so I kind of want to read their intro before we do anything, so let's see it. And they wrote a little thing. From streaming to scamming, it has never been easier for a young person to buck the system and make money or gain attention quickly. Not particularly high on this list of ventures is making rap music, especially during a time when the market is saturated, artist development is neglected, and potential payout opportunities are decreasing. This might help explain the lack of young rap prospects under 20. Put it bluntly, the current crop of under 20 rappers is weak, unusual for a genre historically associated with the youth. Honestly, I wouldn't just say that rappers under 20 are weak. I just think that rap in general is kind of like lulling genre. But let's keep going. LL Cool J was just 16 when he debuted with I Need a Beat. MC Lyte was 17 when she became the first female rapper to release an album, classic Light as a Rock. Nas was 18 when he rapped about snuffing Jesus, and by the time Lil Wayne was 19, he was already 3 albums deep. Damn, Lil Wayne, 3 albums deep, okay. With all appearing on the Billboard Hot 100. And this phenomenon isn't limited to the various golden years throughout the 80s and 90s. Over the past 15 years, future stars like Joey Badass, Chief Keef especially. Chief Keef's run when he was a teenager was crazy. Earl Sweatshirt, Youngboy Never Broke Again, Kodak Black, Doja Cat, and XXXTentacion would all make their first artistic marks before they could even legally vote. As noted in our list of rappers in their 20s, the genre is dominated by the old guard, which seems to have stunted the growth of its younger artists. Some of the most exciting new rappers today, like Laserdisc 700, Skywater, Xavier Sobase, and Baby Osama, are in their 20s, while teenage rappers are often releasing material that's so raw it can be incomprehensible to the masses. Doesn't mean there aren't talented teenagers, it just means that the music is more insular, and the names and references may not be familiar if you're not tapped into their respective scenes. Wow, that paragraph actually was very, very, very good, to be honest, because I feel like I'm gonna explain more with this when you go through this list, but it's either like drill, or it's like a certain type of music, or it's like this like SoundCloud underground scene, you could say. I mean, they said, so making this list had challenges, but it wasn't impossible. For our criteria, we prioritize the impact each artist has made so far and the quality of their music. Most haven't achieved significant commercial success, so that wasn't a defining factor, nor was influence, as most of these rappers are still green. Here are 13 of the best teenage rappers right now. Alright, so number 13 is Ian, okay? I'm not gonna read the entire thing about him, but he's 19 years old, and you know, putting him 13 on this list, I kind of understand it, you know what I mean? I feel like they probably got a list of like 20-30 people and are like, okay, we need to cut this down to 13, whatever. And Ian, with all the buzz he's making, they're like, oh, he's 19, makes sense. Anyways, they said in a short period he has become one of the most talked about new rappers, and they also said why he's not higher. There's a strong possibility that he's merely a gimmick, which doesn't bode well for his longevity. So first of all, I feel like Ian is like on a very on the oldest end of like teenage, probably just about to turn 20 or something. They made some good points, actually. They said, despite showing real signs of fan engagement, like when hundreds of people popped up for an impromptu listening session in New York City, his debut mixtape, Valedictorian, came and went with little fanfare. Yeah, no one's really talking about it. His song with Lyrical Lemonade made some noise. His Tyler, the Creator controversy also was cool, but, you know, he's kind of been labeled with this culture vulture thing. But anyways, is he one of the most relevant teenage rappers right now? Honestly, I would say yes. I'm not really mad at them putting him at 13. I think that's fine. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone would have been mad if he was left out. But this next one will really shock you. All right? 12, Hash Dami. Holy shit. What the f***? Right now, one of the best teenage get the f***. Oh my god. That is a horrible Alright guys, let's get into it. Why they're on this list. One of the unsung heroes of the Plug and B wave, with an innate ability to make catchy songs. Why they're not higher. Has struggled to achieve a breakout moment despite his influence. Honestly, when he first came out, I would say that was his breakout moment, and he's honestly had a lot of commercial success. He's technically also from the DMV scene, an original leader of the woozy Plug and B wave. Okay. Bro, what the f***? Oh, he was not, I guess, you know. So this is one of the picks where I'd say Complex is a bit out of touch. I think they kind of just gathered these people around, and they probably were like, okay, we need this many people from this respective scene, this many people from this scene, this many people from this, and they just scooped up Cash Dami. You know, anybody that understands anything knows that Cash Dami right now is insanely washed. As sad as it is to say, you know, because he is technically on a list ranking teenagers, but yeah, he's No, come on, guys. What? He's also not really a pioneer of the plug and B wave. I will say though, Cash Dami is an artist that's been around for a while. When he first started out, he was trying to copy TK. Then he got his own he had the song with Tana. He had a cool couple singles. It's just that, as they said, his big breakout moment is overdue since popping up on the scene 21 with Reparations. However, I would argue that it's not even a breakout moment he's looking for. He just needs to stay relevant. I think his label has turned off his marketing budget because I don't see him on any of these Instagram pages. When I do hear about him, it's on Twitter and people are just hating on him. The other day, someone tweeted, "Damn, Cash Dami really ain't that bad." He retweeted it and then they replied to their own tweet saying, "Nah, I was just joking. That ass." And he retweeted it so fast, and it's like that's kind of the moment, that's kind of the position he's in. He just gets hated on and everyone calls him trash. Number 11, Hannah. Okay, age 17, so he's very young. Why they're on this list? He has already shown a tendency to consistently release a diverse sounding music. Okay, he had more momentum a couple of years ago. Okay. So Tana is another one of those artists that heavily benefited from TikTok. In the moment where that method stopped working like that, his buzz kind of died down. He also I don't know, he's not really like going hard commercially. However, the thing about Tana to me is I think he should be a little higher on this list. Now I feel like a lot of people don't like Tana, but to me he's actually pretty talented. If you listen to his last album, there's some cool songs and there's some good songs. I think that Tana's capable of making really good music compared to like these other people. Like if you compare Slum Sixes and Tana, Slum Sixes isn't on this list and Tana's miles and miles ahead of him. And when you look at the rest of this list, you'd be like, damn, shouldn't it be higher? But I guess they're just talking about relevance here. Tana isn't that relevant, to be honest. Cool, but he needs another single to be like, oh shit, he did it again. Got it. But yeah, putting him and Cash Dami right next to each other, it's almost as if like someone from Complex just looked at 14 and was like, these guys need to be on here. Youngest people to ever be on Lyrical Lemonade. That's another thing about Tana. At one point he was just like the youngest to do everything, youngest person to do Rolling Loud, youngest person to be on Lyrical Lemonade. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of worn off, but it seems like he's got the talent. It seems like he's Tana's constantly working with smaller underground artists. Right now he's working with Tezus, I don't know how to say his name. He was working with Southside Silhouette, Rolling Thrax, all those people way before they were like cool or whatnot, so he's tapped in. I think he's doing his thing. Now this was actually kind of surprising to me. Che was ranked number 10. So that means he was ranked higher than both Tana and Ian. And I think part of that has to do with his recent release. I feel like if he didn't drop his last album and it didn't make that noise that it did, Complex would not have ranked him this high. Kind of makes me think this list is like it's just looking at like the last 6 months of, but I'm not mad that it's like a more current list. Anyways, age 17, why they're on this list. Sorry, I cannot read. Why they're on this list. He has a real knack for creating fun, experimental songs. Why they're not higher. He's still very niche and hasn't found a larger audience yet. They kind of just talk about Che's uniqueness, his sound, his visuals, and how he just goes further on all his projects. They said it really well. It's a tantalizing preview of how alluring Che's music world could get if he hones his aesthetic. I feel like he's already honed his aesthetic quite a bit. Yeah. Anyways, I don't think 10 is a bad spot, to be honest. I think this is cool by Complex for putting him on like this. That's all I really got to say. Che's last album was great. I do think it's one of those albums where people pretend like they love a little more than they actually listen to. But I'm not saying that's a totally bad thing. I think it's fire though. I think he's good. It's good that he was on there. It's interesting though to me that they put him higher than Tana. I still think even though Tana hasn't come out with like a hit, Che's not there. But if you do look at Che's Spotify, he actually had a hit back in 2021. So I guess he's proven that he can evolve and have real emotion, whereas some of these artists cannot. Next is Shaw G's. Now, he's just like this drill rapper. Honestly, the hard as but I don't know. I'm just not I'm not listening to Shaw G's like that, so I'm gonna skip it. I'm not mad at this. I think it's fine. If you look at his numbers, it makes sense why they put him here. I'm just gonna flash off a picture of his YouTube, and yeah, doing his thing. Next, there's Dirtball. Now, if you remember, Dirtball was actually more up and had more quote-unquote potential about a year ago. Then Lil Tony came around, then Laserdisc came around, then these other artists from Atlanta. I mean, you could even say Baby Kia from Atlanta. They all came around, and he just hasn't really grown as much. However, he's 18 years old. They said he embodies Atlanta's new sound, which is eccentric and innovative. And they also said why they're not higher. His abrasive style has yet to win over broader audiences. That's just a very nice way of writing that is not more up. Okay, I think he's ranked too high. I think that of course over Cash Dami, but like Shaw G's, Che, and Tana, that's crazy. I think that his music is more palatable to a larger audience. So I think maybe more people at Complex were like, yo, we fuck with this. His music is more basic. I don't think he's as popular as these other guys, but you know, each their own. I'm not mad. I think he should be on this list. I think he just like ranked a little too high. Next, they got Sugar Hill D-Dot. I don't know if you're familiar with Nadi Osama and familiar with Didi Osama and all this stuff. He's 16. He has quickly become one of the most versatile drill rappers in New York. It's unclear whether he can strike a right balance between pop and street rap, which he needs to reach next level. Yeah, I actually agree totally. I feel like everyone who knows New York drill knows, you know, the whole Nadi situation, Didi Osama. Not much more to say. He's actually, honestly, I don't really think he's too talented. I don't think he's that good. He has some, I guess, cool songs. You're not gonna catch me listening to them, but yeah, I also think he's ranked a little too high. I just think because of the popularity and I guess how well known his team is and how young he is, if you hedge that all together, it sounds like it makes sense why he's there. 310 Baby, that's the next rapper they put up there. So he's like one of those artists. I was actually just listening to a song that they paired, but you can just tell he's signed to a label. You know, he has a song with Saweetie, like a 2K thing or something. He basically just had like a big TikTok song. He performed at the Kendrick Lamar pop-out show. I mean, I guess it's cool. Honestly, there's a good chance he falls off. No offense. I once again think he was ranked higher because number one, music is a lot more palatable to a wider audience. It's basic. You know, I guess he was put on by Kendrick Young and has already proven he can make like hits that I guess anybody could listen, not just younger people. Next is Star Bands. Now I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of her. Saying, yo, you don't know. It's just, you know, I could look at her profile. Hey, I think this and that, but I'm just gonna leave it out. I am gonna look once. I don't think she deserves to be this high up here, but you know, as I said, I don't know. I'm not gonna comment on it. Number 4, Baby Kia. Wow. So Baby Kia is 17 years old. I did not realize that. They said he has a truly unique rap style with traces of horrorcore. That's hilarious. I feel like Baby Kia has no idea what horrorcore is, or had no idea until maybe someone told him. Like his manager was like, "Yo, bro." But they said why they're not higher. The style is polarizing and it's unclear how far you can take it. Okay, that's very true, but it's interesting to me that he was ranked higher than so many people. Like, I feel like Ian and Baby Kia had the same amount of motion, if not, you know what I mean? It's I guess he's 17, so he's younger. It's also very clear how like his style is cool. While it's cool, it's kind of like a gimmick. You know, I actually realized that when he hopped on the song with Laserdisc, and Laserdisc just washed him like that. Like just washed him. No offense to Baby Kia, Laserdisc's verse was just so good. I think Baby Kia has a very good sound for like social media. He's a very good image for social media, but for him to go further, I mean, he's gonna need to like change his stuff. He's gonna need to make music that, you know, you can listen to with headphones, if you catch my drift. But other than that, he's cool. He has some cool songs. Popularity wise, it kind of makes sense. But number 4 on this list, like, all right, you know what I mean? But I don't think anyone's complaining. Now, the next one is our beloved Netspend. Okay, so age 17, why they're on this list. He has an enthralled, rapidly growing fan base that is fully invested in the Netspend experience. I'm not gonna lie, makes sense. Why they're not higher? He's not an interesting vocalist, but has shown weakness as a writer. They said he is an interesting vocalist, but has shown weakness as a writer. All right, so okay, I guess when they mean weakness as a writer, they kind of just docking him for being on his like SoundCloud rap. And honestly, I kind of agree with that. Lil Baby previewed like this new Net song, like snippet, and the lyrics were like, come on, bro. But number 3 is pretty high. First of all, I'll get into who ranked higher than him, but let's go over what they wrote. I actually want to hear the whole thing, or tell you the whole thing. Netspend, the 17-year-old from Richmond, is both the most despised and adored underground rapper in recent memory. At shows, feverish fans treat him like new gen Justin Bieber and celebrate his amorphous quote-unquote aura. That was funny. It's funny whenever aura is mentioned in like a serious... Alright. Online critics demean him as counterculture for brain-rotted Fortnite addicts, calling him an appropriator for being a white teen rapping about loving lean, and wondering if there's anything actually beneath the shiny surface, or if he's just another Matt Ox-like figure. Okay, so let's go over that. I don't think people hate on him for being an appropriator. Nobody does. This is another point where Complex they're a little out of touch. However, he does get demeaned for being brain rot, I guess. People say, yo, he's trash, Netspend. No way you listen to Netspend. Like, I have a friend that's older than me. He's like, dude, I listen to Netspend too, man. I listen to it. I'm like, bro, okay, Jesus Christ, move on. You know, fucking. So I get where they're staying with that. He definitely does get hate a lot. They actually nailed the first sentence, the most despised and adored underground rapper in recent memory, which honestly, I think is a very good thing. Anyways, move on. The hate seems to be a direct response to the adulation, baffling those who can't comprehend how the this squeaky kid is going viral with barely coherent raps. Yeah, I guess some people just don't get it. Anyways, let's read the next paragraph. His writing doesn't always hit deep, but the vocal cadences are delightfully erratic. They're like a more electrifying version of the dazed, phantasmal flow of his friend and New York underground pioneer Xavier So Based. That's funny that they made that comparison, but I guess you can kind of understand. That spasms around the beat like a graffiti artist tagging at 3x speed, spraying ad-libs, slut truck, wait, bah, and molten gurgles everywhere. I always love how like people, I don't know, whenever people use this type of language to describe the type of music that like Netspend makes or something, it's just funny to me. It's perfect for attention deficit Gen Alpha teens craving a quick hit of musical dopamine. I'm not gonna lie, they're not wrong there. Deft at making every song drop feel monumental and shocking fans with unexpected moments, meeting up with Anna Wintour, apparently getting in a sample clearance fight with Deftones, an early rare collaboration with Doo-Wop Kane. Netspend has already shown a knack for theatrical flair, which will only bolster his trajectory, meaning, yo, this kid might go places. They kept it very tame when, you know, I guess you could say they were criticizing his music. They just said, yo, other people demean him for this, his vocals aren't like craziest, this and that. I think he should have been like one spot higher in my opinion, and I'll explain why. But yeah, I think this is a good ranking. I feel like if they didn't include him, it would be like, what? So, no. They could have definitely pulled something where, you know, I feel like if Complex wanted to be bolder, and this is where I kind of think certain publications should just be honest. I would actually have respected it more if they made the list a little more honest. They put him lower on this list, if that makes sense, because I don't think they believe Netspend should be number 3. They kind of just described him. They didn't really praise him too much, if that makes sense. Like, they said he's an interesting vocalist. I mean, like, it's just, that's a bit of a, you get what I'm saying? Like, I think they just knew they had to put it there. Makes sense? There's also a flex on his end. Anyways, the next is Didi Osama. All right, guys. Didi Osama, he's cool. Obviously, we went over D-Dot. Didi Osama, 17. He's definitely capable of making some more, I'm gonna use this word again, more palatable music. He blew up because of the death of Naughty, who I believe was his brother. And yeah, he's been making some decent music ever since. He hasn't really been making noise. I don't think Didi Osama is culturally relevant within drill like that. I mean, he still gets plenty of views and stuff, but you know, his 2023 run was just different. I'm gonna show you the views. So yeah, while I understand he's not as relevant, it kind of makes sense why they put them here. Why they put him here. Again, with certain artists in this list, they kind of went more of, yo, guys popping now. So I guess you could say there's a little bit of a difference in how they ranked certain people. Anyways, number 1, La Tyler, 18. He's the most polished and accomplished rapper among his peers. Not gonna lie, they're totally right. Sure, he's not as hot as when he first came out, but yeah, he could rap. He did off BandLab, similar to Netspend, and has good music. And you can't really be mad. He's very popular, more accomplished, as they said. And yeah, he is definitely more polished than them. I feel like he's grown into himself a lot more and been able to because he's been out there longer and kind of just hit the mainstream and he kind of just went with it. So good for him. I really don't have anything else to say. Honestly, I thought this list was decent. I think a couple people could have been omitted, but you know, it's cool. Some people could have been higher, some people could have been lower, but I feel like everyone feels that way. I don't think it was horrible. I just think it was interesting. I think it was a cool little list. You know, often you don't really pay attention to the exact age of a lot of rappers. You know, I didn't realize, yo, this guy's a teenager, this guy's not a teenager, etc. I would say that, you know, a lot of the SoundCloud artists' years, because I believe Complex also did like a best rappers in the 20s list. Once you hit the 20s, you know, you're kind of competing with your competition is way stiffer. So I guess they were able to stand out due to their age a little bit. But anyways, it'll be interesting to see where all these people go, especially people like Che, Cash Dami, Anna, Ian, Netspend, you know, even Dirtball. Don't forget Dirtball. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, and yeah, let's get into it. Bye. What did I say just there? Sorry. See you tomorrow. Bye.